Ah, Shakespeare. Isn't he great? Hello, friends. For the next few minutes, we're going to review the Shakespearean tragedy Romeo and Juliet to see how plot structure and plot development works. So if you're looking for a review on a diagram such as this for my 9th graders or for anyone that wants a review out there, you've come to the right place. This diagram is a typical plot structure diagram you could find in any of your classrooms. Maybe your teachers have done this one with you guys before, maybe not, but usually it goes from exposition, conflict, rising action, climax, falling action, and then we meet to the resolution. So this is what we'll be going over. If you're interested in this, keep watching. The first section of plot diagram is called exposition. In this part, we are introduced to the story, we get to meet the characters, and we get to know the setting. We meet Romeo and his family, the Montagues, and Juliet and her family, the Capulets. We are introduced to their constant, strong dislike and their feud that has been disturbing the streets of Verona for years. Romeo is having relationship troubles, so Romeo's cousin Benvolio tries to cheer him up by taking him to a party. At this same party, we find Juliet, her mother, and her expected-to-be fiancé Paris, and we can only imagine what would happen next. Next, we come to the conflict, and the conflict is a problem the characters must face and overcome throughout the story. We are establishing the problem in this story, and in this case, Romeo and Juliet fall in love at first sight at the party. As we know, their families do not get along, so this is a problem. Now we have come to the rising action, the scenes of the story where suspense builds as the problem builds. In the diagram map, this is the uphill section, which means it is multiple events in the story. In Romeo and Juliet, the rising action begins where they confess their love to each other in the famous balcony scene. The feud between the families is intensifying as Tybalt is angry that the Montagues would show up at a Capulet party. Back at the balcony scene, Romeo and Juliet decide they must get married secretly as their families would not agree with this. The friar decides to do it in hopes that this marriage would bring peace to both families. They marry in secret. Here we reach the climax, or in other words, the turning point. This is the most exciting part of the story. It's the part where you can't stop turning the pages, and it's what we've been building to. It's the highest point of not only the story, but also the diagram. Tybalt is searching for Romeo, who is still angry about the Montagues being at the party. He runs into Mercutio, Romeo's close friend. Tybalt is wanting a fight from Romeo, but isn't getting one in return due to the new marriage no one knows of. In Mercutio's anger, he decides to fight for Romeo, which leads to his death by Tybalt. To avenge his friend, Romeo kills Tybalt. The prince hears what happened and banishes Romeo from Verona. Falling action is the events that unfold due to climax. These events happen fast, and they lead to the end of the story. Juliet is informed of her cousin Tybalt's death and Romeo's banishment. No one knows of the secret marriage between her and Romeo. The arranged marriage of hers and Paris is happening quick. With no one to hear her out, she goes to the friar. The friar comes up with a plan that she takes a potion that makes her appear dead for a couple hours. This gives her a chance to get out of the wedding and go to Mantua with Romeo. She drinks the potion on her wedding day, and the celebration turns into a mourning of death. Romeo hears the news of Juliet's death and buys a real potion that will kill him. Romeo drinks the potion, dies. Juliet wakes up and takes her own life after seeing her dead husband. And now the story reaches its resolution. It's how the story ends and where the characters are now. The star-crossed lovers Romeo and Juliet have died, and many more people have as well. The family, Montagues and Capulets, decide to end their feud and try and find peace after so much death and destruction. So there's a review of plot structure or plot development using a diagram structure, and it's this one. So we come to exposition, meet the conflict, rising action, meet the climax, falling action, and resolution. I hope this helps you guys with any writing narratives that you guys are doing or reading other stories or other novels. It helps you guys organize your thoughts and organize where the plot is going throughout the story. Thank you for watching.